Mūsdienās kā vēl nekad cilvēki domā par pārdomātu savu iespēju izmantošanu. Mēs šķirojam atkritumus, mēs mazgājam traukus un veļu ar pareizajiem mazgājumiem līdzekļiem, mēs atpūšamies pareizāk. Un no otras puses mūsu dzīvē ienāk daudz novitātes, lietas, par kurām mēs nemaz nevarējām iedomāties pirms 15-20 gadiem. Un ir tāds jēdziens ilgtspējība, ar kuru nākotnē nāksies sadzīvot gan mājsaimniecei, gan ministram. Ilgtspējība būvniekiem ir radījusi veselu lēveni jaunu aspektu, par ko domāt. Un par šiem aspektiem celtniecības jomā mēs tagad arī parunāsim.
It's like the train coming. It means that everybody knows it's not wise to heat outdoor air. It's warm enough. So we have come to that step that everybody understands that we have to do something for the buildings, and it's on a good way.
So there's a clear path. We are going to further reduce energy and improve energy efficiency, improve material efficiency, light materials and smartness in the buildings. We will move into net zero energy buildings.
We pay the same rent here per square meter that they pay, and you can't tell me that those people over there are using the space in the same smart way that we're using space.
Well, if we're investing at day one, we should be making the right investment, and that has to be assessed looking at the whole life cycle of a building. Because a building that might be cheaper to deliver day one may be less profitable over a 10 to 20 year period than a building that is slightly more expensive initially, perhaps if it's not done right, but if it's done by the right sustainability professionals it shouldn't be that much more expensive. But that will retain value over the years.
Un tagad paskatīsimies smalkāk, kā dažādu jomu profesionāļi nonāca līdz tēmai ilgtspējīga būvniecība.
Aizsākums tēmai par ilgtspējīgu būvniecību un iemesls sarunas sākumā par šo tēmu lielā mērā aizsākās tūlīt pēc lielā burbuļu saplīšanas pie mums. Tas ir 9. 10. gads, kad tauta ieraudzīja, kādā līmenī daudz objekti ir sabūvēti.
Ilgtspējīga būvniecība, kas tas ir? Tas ir 3 faktoru miedarbība. Ja? Tas ir vides faktors, zaļa būvniecība, tas ir sociālais faktors, būvniecība, kas vērst uz cilvēkiem, un tas ir ekonomiskais, ka tas viss notiek pa saprātīgu cenu. Un šo 3 faktoru miedarbību, manuprāt, diezgan labi un pareizi parāda to virzienu, kurā vispār būvniecība iet tagad un ies uz priekšu nākotnē.
If we want to have real change, the Finnish goal is a low emission society 250, which means 80% cuts from the 90s to the 2050. And it's very, very ambitious.
So different countries and different markets in different parts of the world have different drivers. The important thing with sustainability and the principle of it is to apply it to the local need, the local resources, the local people, the local cultures. And that's one of the strengths of sustainability. But again, the principles about minimizing resource use, optimizing efficiency, being frugal with energy, looking at how you save energy, these principles can apply well and can actually save money and not cost money.
Mēs atrodamies 20 minūšu braucienu attālumā no Helsinki centra. Šeit būvē ģimenēm mājas. Espo ir vieta, un Skanska ir kompānija, kuras pārstāvs tad mums parādīs, kādas priekšrocības šeit ir ilgtspējībā. Can you tell me what is this house built for and what are the advantages in kind of sustainable solutions here?
Yeah. This is Espoon Adjutantti. This is a residential building that was finished about a year ago in May 2012. And this is a showcase for the urban sustainable living. And in here, for instance, if you think of the location we are in a very close to all sorts of services. There's a shopping center clear by, a library, all sorts of services. There's a train station, just a walking distance from here. And there's only about 10-15 minute ride to the Helsinki city center.
And there's also a forest, because this must be for families mostly.
Families and older people, all sorts of people actually can live here. One of the important things about this project has been the cooperation. So right in the beginning, of course, we are a builder, but you can't do things alone. So we teamed up. Yeah. One of the things we have in the flats actually to save energy is that there's a home and away switch.
Home and away switch. This is a switch you can switch. This is a like off. I'm absent.
Yeah.
Now I'm at home. What does it does?
If it would be heating, of course at the moment we don't need heating, it's so hot. But in winter time it can drop down a little bit of the temperature, and it also takes off, there are certain sockets that it cuts off the electricity, so you don't have to worry about that. Did I leave that coffee machine on when I went? There's been a lot of emphasis in here actually on the energy. This energy class A, very low energy consumption, but on top of that we all know that how you use the building, how you use your flat, you can have a quick reality check how much energy you've been using. In this flat there hasn't been too many people in the building lately, but I was just using some water, so you can, for instance, see that there's been some water consumption.
Those are the, what time is it?
Yeah.
And those are the
liters per minute. Yeah. If I'm interested in it, this is just a quick reality check. For instance, electricity. You can see that there's some basic consumption, and now when we came in, there's been some. We put some lights on to the.
Such a computer inside the wall must be kind of expensive thing.
No, it's not. And we also, the residents had for the first year, they had an electric car, so they could use an electric car to drive short.
One car for all the building?
For all the building, and there was a system where you can book it, and also the PV energy, the solar energy, electricity was used to charge the car.
The car gives you a point of view of how it is possible to use the electric car to reduce the CO2 and all this stuff, yeah?
All that stuff, and then also having that kind of a shared car can also reduce the need for buying another car.
But it is funny, you are a builder company and developer company, and then you find out the car is very interesting to show your customers.
That's about it's a sustainable urban living, and living is more than just the building. And in this, what I didn't mention, one of the important things about this project has been the cooperation. So that's very important. If you think of sustainable building, cooperation.
Acīm redzami ir tas, ka ir jākooperējas būvniekiem ar citu tehnoloģiju izstrādātājiem. Un šeit man blakām stāv pārstāvi no Konas. Kona izrādās ne tikai lifts, bet arī vispār taisa sistēmas, lai cilvēkam būtu ērti un viegli piekļūt savam mīteklim. So tell about what Kona did in this particular building.
So we started with our customer working, how can we further improve sustainability in the whole area? And we had three main goals: how to improve it from the social point of view, how to provide easy access, comfort and well-being for the inhabitants, also how to have the most energy efficient solutions, elevator solutions included here in the building, and further boost the energy efficiency in this building, which is also partially powered by the renewable energy, the solar power at the top of the building. And I'll show you how the easy access is integrated into the building here. So I have my key. I am coming to open the door. I have my shopping groceries, so I have no hands-free to take my normal key. So I will just show the control that I'm coming in. door is automatically opened.
Yeah.
We can go in.
Yeah.
There, at the same time, the system sensed I'm coming in, so the main floor is lighted up. And now the elevator also had been closed. So maybe you missed it, but as we approached, the door opened in the elevator. It's ready to go. So the elevator is enabling a very easy access from the front door all the way to my apartment.
Before that, if I would like to be friendly to the nature, I would avoid to go by lifts and go by my own.
That's right. So please do that so that you will always take the stairs up and take the elevator down. Because when you take the elevator down, you are really benefiting the building. You are providing excess electricity to the building since it is regenerated. Remember, take the elevator down, you will generate energy. In order for us in the future to be sustainable, we need to reduce our consumption, whether it's related to energy, material, water, or food.
Our mission is basically the same as for any other green building council. We exist for the sake of transforming the way the construction industry works from the inside. We are not here to lobby others outside the industry. We are not here to desperately try to effect the framework conditions in which we work. We are here to change the way we ourselves do things.
Cilvēka dzīve jau tikai nesastāv no mūžīgas atgriešanās mājās. Ir jābūt radošam un ieinteresētam arī darba vietā. Kādā veidā? Ilgtspējīgā.
Okay. This is how most of the other companies have lockers. Lend-Lease, we're trying to really get people to enjoy cycling to work and facilitate the decision to bicycle. So we have special lockers. So I'm sorry, but it's a mess, but it shows that it's being used. All employees who want to bicycle have this locker. We have a fresh towel service every day. We have great showers. And so the whole point is we want to make it as easy as possible for people who care about cycling to cycle to work. Our bikes are secure, so we want to make sure that our bikes don't get stolen. We're trying to do everything we can to encourage people. So we also have tools, and we have different guys who sponsor. If your bike breaks down, we'll teach you how to fix it. And every Friday we have some guys who come down here and do a full bike service if you need it. So it's all about trying to get people to come here.
I'd like to bike here.
Yeah.
You fix my bike.
And so again, it's, you know, from the showers to the way we lock our bikes, it's all about incentivizing people in a good way rather than just saying, why don't you bike to work? This is a typical floor. And you can see all the plants here. And so some plants are good at absorbing toxins and benzene from printers and screens, and other plants are good for blood pressure and making people feel good. And what you can see though is half the desks are empty, so we're still wasting half the space. It's about improved productivity, less absenteeism. It's about people who are more engaged and more excited about coming to work every day than if there was an office with no plants.
Are they?
I think they are. But I think the message is it's your activity that determines how you use the office. And so some days maybe you don't have to come here at all. In a typical office in the UK, 1 to 2% of the cost is your energy, and 80% of the cost is your people. But most people focus all their energy on reducing the lights and but you're only working in a very small margin. If you can increase your productivity by 1 or 2%, imagine or 10%, think of the impact you would have. And obviously, I think in today's world, the concept of sustainability is so crucial for innovation, right? I'm sure there's other innovation in terms of IT or the way we wire the office that I can't speak so well about, but for me the sustainability is a real proxy for innovation and making an office exciting. You know, we try and have a cafeteria which serves healthy food, and for example, very important, our menu. We tell people exactly where our food comes from, and before nobody cared, and now that we tell them, they ask us, why do you have French apples and not British apples? And so it's about engaging and communicating the sustainability of our food as well. This is our roof garden, and you're seeing it in winter, so it's not blooming, but we want to build obviously a beautiful green wall. These are all growing beds where our employees are growing food, and we have 25 or 30 employees who do this. You have London's biggest insect hotel, so we have employees who are capturing information on number of bees and insects. And it's all about engaging people. So people who like to do this, they come to work with a little bit more energy than if we didn't have it.
Don't they spend a lot of time doing this during their work time?
No, not a lot of time, but enough time to find the right balance. And I'm not measuring your input, I'm measuring your output. So you can see here we have a little green roof, and we have another one here. If every office in London used just this amount of space, in Zone 1 London, we would have 2 new Hyde Parks. Think of the air cleansing qualities that could provide in a city that is so polluted like London. Mm-hmm. So there's a real triple bottom line outcome here. Minimal cost to do this, employee engagement, and potential better air quality.
It's not just telling others how to do it. We think it's very important to do it ourselves. So having ourselves, environmental management, working in a building where we have thought about environmental matters and also health and safety matters for our employees, that's very important. We are a human resource company, so it's very important that people feel at home here, or at least feel well here.
Un tagad pārcelsimies uz Islandi. Tur progresīva kompānija EFLA, kura darbojās arī Ilgtspējīgas Būvniecības padomē, izdomāja, ka jāmaina telpas. Kādas ir jaunās telpas? Tā ir pārbūvēta vecā skolas ēka, turklāt pārbūvēta menedžējot veco materiālu izmantošanu vēlreiz, turpat Islandē.
Just now starting to think, what can I do? I mean, in my daily life, it was much about we don't want to damage our river, we don't want to damage this valley and so on. Right. But now I think that there is a big change over to that people also think, what can I do? I mean, can I bike to work? Can I sort my waste and so on? And this is happening just the last 4 years, 5 years. In the building phase, the contractor had to have their environmental policy and had to sort waste and fulfill all kinds of environmental and occupational health management criteria. And then in the building itself, we emphasized measuring energy use and water use, and we emphasized not using toxic materials.
We have to think about the cost at all times. But in the state, when we are building, there are always 2 major things that we have to take care of. It's the cost and it's the quality. And we cannot just focus on one, we have to focus on both.
Es personīgi uzskatu, ka ar to diskusiju, kas ir iepirkuma likumdošanā, ka nedrīkst vienmēr dominēt, vismaz nesarežģītākos iepirkumos, nedrīkst tikai pat lētākā cena būt galvenais kritērijs vai vienīgais, jo šī zemākā cena spiež uzņēmumus patiesībā rīkoties totāli neilgtspējīgi, no visa sabiedrības viedokļa arī vienkārši nemaksājot nodokļus un tādējādi konkurējot. Ka tas ir tas efekts, ko mēs dabūjam pa zemāko cenu.
So we are very cost concerned, but we believe, and we want to believe, that taking sustainability into account, that we can lower operating costs in the future. So we believe that it might be a little bit higher initial cost, but we want to believe that in the future the cost will be lower.
Acīm redzot, ilgtspējības atslēga ir tas, ka cilvēki būvē cilvēkiem. Mēs atrodamies Rīgā, pašā centrā, Rīgas centrālajā stacijā. Cilvēki šeit satiekās tad, kad dodas no darba uz mājām vai otrādi. Un arī šeit par ilgtspējību ir domāts.
I think that we are very inspired by, as I mentioned, Mr. Jan Gehl, which is a very famous city planner from Denmark, which we have used not only here in Riga but also in Oslo for developments that we have had there. And he is talking about the life between the buildings, and I think that what we have realized also is that it is really what makes people spend time in the area where you develop your properties. That's where you succeed most with your developments. It's not just about the building in itself, but it's also about the space around the buildings. And that's why we try to have a very active approach to the whole area development when we talk about new projects. We do that in Oslo, we do that in Riga, and in all areas where we are doing business. So we are thinking about aspects like squares, like developing quality areas for people to spend time, to sit, to enjoy life, and basically creating space for people to thrive around our properties. That is a very important aspect when we are doing business property developments.
So what we've seen is that a lot of the building owners and investors realize they have to do something different. They understand that the European legislation underway and coming in the future is going to require a different approach. And what we see is really a very fast adjustment and a very fast change in the discussions of projects. So now I think 60% of the projects in Bucharest are now being considered for certification. We were down to probably 1% just a few years ago, just probably 3 years ago. So there's been really a tremendous upsurge in the interest in green buildings, while the number of building projects, because of the economy, are still slower.
And we see the very clear logic that the longer perspective we take, the more sustainable approach we have to a development, the more economic benefits we get at the end of the business cycle of such a development.
One of the points I emphasize often is that obviously with green buildings and lower operating costs, there's a long-term benefit. But we believe with a better emphasis on planning and integrated design, which is a big part of green buildings, that even before the project is finished, you will have basically less construction mistakes, a better use of space, and an immediate increase in the building value, so that even if they have a short-term outlook, this is a good idea. It's simply they will be changing how they spend their money, but the total cost of it will not change.
So a common problem that you'll see in Latvia, you'll see in parts of Europe, in South America and other countries, is builders focus on the first cost. They want to build as quickly and as cheaply as possible, sell the building for as much as possible and leave it behind. Okay, that's a common characteristic in every country around the world. The trick here is to get them to realise that actually they can sell a product for more, they can deliver more efficiently, they can deliver with better quality, there's less need to go back and fix things afterwards, and for their brand, in terms of what people think about the product, they're likely to do better. So the trick here is no different in Latvia to any other part of the world I can test. The trick here is for these house builders to realise it's in their business interests to deliver a better quality product.
Tātad ilgtspējīgas celtniecības pamatā ir sasēdināt pie viena galda projektētājus, inženierus, attīstītājus, būvniekus un pat nākamos būves lietotājus.
Green building councils are, from our point of view, a fundamentally important tool for transforming industries to a more sustainable way of working. They are also an extremely good way of networking and building new both customer and development relations within countries. And they are extremely effective in doing practical market transformation work.
But in my personal view, I think we can't carry on as we used to in the past 30, 40 years. Definitely not. But I'm an optimist at heart, so I believe that we can actually achieve these goals without too much sacrifice, but with the right mindset and developing the right kind of technology to to help us take those steps.
So I think the importance of councils is that they're not just the voice of one part of industry, but they bring the entire value chain together, and that's very much needed in sustainability. To provide better solutions, we need to have integrated project teams, so architects and product manufacturers, engineers, investors are all part of a similar conversation. And I think that councils have a role to play in terms of bringing those communities together. But governments need to start reaching out to that expertise and collaborating with industry. That progressive voice that's provided by council can help essentially governments to manage stakeholders and to come to some kind of progressive consensus moving forward on the green agenda.
I would say, there are different visionary perspectives. There's the short-term perspective of mobilizing as many as we just can behind the movement to turn this into a sort of a driving force of industry change. That we should accomplish over the next year or 2 or 3. Then there's the medium-term perspective, let's say 5 years and a bit longer than that, of transforming industry practices from first cost only to longer-term investment perspectives. And then, of course, there's the very long-term perspective of changing the competence profiles of our industry. I mean, changing the way young people are educated to enter the construction and real estate industry, pushing in new ways of thinking through the education programs and so forth. And that, of course, is almost a generational thing. So we're talking about multiple different time frames of change.
Ilgtspējīga būvniecība, jo es domāju, pēc tās definīcijas paredz domāšanas izmaiņas, domāšanu plašākā kontekstā, kopsakarībās, ilgākā laika termiņā. Ja, tā kā es gribētu teikt, ka ilgtspēja, manuprāt, ir domāšanas izmaiņas. Kaut kādā ziņā tā ir atgriešanās pie saknēm, kaut kādā ziņā tā, protams, ir jaunāko tehnoloģiju ieviešana un klātbūtne. Bet bez domāšanas izmaiņām arī ilgtspējīgu uzvedību nevar īsti rasties.